Hello and welcome to Broken Entertainment. And today I want to talk a little bit about this rumor that Captain Marvel is going to be gay in her next movie. So, the first important step to get out of the way here is that Captain Marvel is not a gay character. She has never been a gay character. She has always been straight. And there's no problem with having gay characters at all. The issue comes when you replace existing characters, or, in this case, just like when you had Iceman in the comics, you take a character who has been straight for 60 years and make them gay. Because it falls into that trap of, okay, what if you reversed the roles? What if you took a gay character and made them straight? That would seem pretty crappy, right? So, if you can turn around something and it sounds crappy, it's crappy to begin with. But I don't want to go too far into that because it's not really what matters. It's very surface level, and we'll get into why that's surface level in a little bit here. But this is part of a pattern coming out of Disney and out of Marvel to a lesser extent. Recently, anyway. But you will see with this pattern that there's really no reason to even react to this on a contact the company and be mad sort of level, because it won't. First of all, it won't do anything, and second of all, it doesn't really matter, because what's going to happen is they're doing this as part of an agenda to get people mad. That's what they want. They want people on YouTube responding. They want them to be angry, because then they can make a whole thing about it. See, they can take that anger and they can say, look at all these bigots who have a problem with a lesbian character on TV or in a movie. Look at all these bigots that are out there that hate what we're doing. That means that what we're doing needs to be done more, because we need to normalize it. That's the goal. The problem is that nobody cares. Right? I mean, does it really matter if you really think about it? Do you care if Captain Marvel's gay? You know, on the one hand, they've taken a character who's been straight for 40 whatever years and made her gay. On the other hand, they're telling the homosexual community, we're not gonna make you a new character because that's hard and it won't work. We're just gonna give you somebody else's leftovers, just like they've done with other characters. For example, when they made the Falcon Captain America, we're not gonna make you a new character. We're going to take an existing character and we're going to change who they are and give them to you, because a new character is hard and you're not really worth it. So, what should they do? What they should do is make a new character, introduce her in the movies and the comics at the same time. Give her own movie first. Make her a lesbian, that's fine. Make her an awesome character. Make her a character everybody falls in love with, and nobody will care about her sexuality, because it will just be a component of who she is as a person. There are existing examples of this in other media and in other movies, where a character was awesome and nobody cared that they were gay, in the sense that nobody got angry, because somebody's sexuality, somebody's political ideology, somebody's gender identification should never be all that they are as a person. And unfortunately, what do we have with Captain Marvel? Well, not much. She's a very unpopular character. In the comic books, they have to constantly relaunch her comics because they fail all the time. Her movie did well, but nobody liked Brie Larson in the role. Nobody really liked the character that much. And if you ask anybody any questions about the movie or anything like that now, they'll probably be able to talk about some cute-looking cat and Nick Fury getting his eye scratched out. That's pretty much what people talk about. That's what they talked about even when the movie was new. So let's go ahead and get into this article a little bit. It's from Bleeding Full. I'm not a huge fan of theirs. I don't like, as you know, I don't like politics in media. And this is politics in media, unfortunately. Bleeding Full. There's a lot of commentary thrown into the article, and I'll skip over most of that. But Brie Larson was not universally welcome addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but somehow is currently leading the film industry's biggest franchise after most of the MCU's legacy characters are departing. That's part of the plan. The Captain Marvel movie experience left many fans and some critics unenthusiastic about casting as well as the future of the MCU. Even though the Russo brothers knew it was best to minimize Captain Marvel in Avengers Endgame, according to Daniel Richtman, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel will now be repositioned as an LGBT character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the leader of the next phase. We can't be bothered to make a new character for you. You're not important enough. So here's some leftovers. We just want to score points. And maybe edit the movie in such a way that when it's released in China, we can just edit out the gay part. Remember what they did in Star Wars. They had this black character, Finn, front and center in the United States. And then as soon as it went over to China, all of a sudden, he's moved over to another part of the poster and shrunk way down. Because all hail China. So it goes on a little bit. Captain Marvel being a gay character was all but demanded by a small but vocal segment of moviegoers and activists, both years ago and even more recently. There was a persistent rumor that Marvel was actively planning for an openly gay character coming into Phase 4, with speculation it could be Captain Marvel. So here's the thing. It's Phase 4. You've cleared out all the characters everybody was invested in. You're going to bring in new characters. Make a new character. It's the movies. Most of the people who go see these movies don't know the comics. Make a new character. Make her awesome. You can do it. It's been done recently by somebody. They're called DC Comics. They managed to make Yara Flor interesting. She's the future state Wonder Woman. She's interesting. People like her. She's Brazilian. Ticks off some of those boxes. But people like her because she's a likable character. She's got interesting powers. She's not the same as Wonder Woman. She's using it as a title, but she's not Wonder Woman. Batgirl comes to mind when you go back far enough. Again, not replacing Batman. Just somebody else who uses the title a little bit, but while Batman is still active. Or let's go back farther. Wonder Woman. The original version of Wonder Woman. She came out in the 40s. Look how popular she is. Make a new character. But they're afraid. Plus, it wouldn't fit their plan. So he goes on about stuff. Politics. And that's pretty much where most of this goes. So, here's kind of the thing. You have them making this character gay, theoretically. And you have some other moves too. We've wiped the slate clean. Now we can bring in Falcon as Captain America. We can bring in... They're preparing to bring in Lady Thor. Because they're trying to match the all-new, all-different Marvel comics from the 2015. They're trying to get to a point where Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Lady Thor, Ironheart all dominate the screen in a way they did not dominate successfully in the comics. And they want to do that because they want you to see how virtuous they are. Now, out of all those characters, the only one new is Miss Marvel. Kamala Khan. That's a new character. That's what I will give that character. They did not take somebody and suddenly they're Muslim. They said, let's make a new character. The title Miss Marvel is empty because Miss Marvel became Captain Marvel. So they made a new character. That's fine. That's what you should do. Because otherwise you're saying you're only worth the leftovers. Have some scraps and go away and be happy. Just make sure you vote for us. Make sure you give us a big thumbs up on Twitter. Because we're representing you. Even though, we're actually just taking another character and changing them around a little bit like we did with Iceman. And we're going to call that representation, even though actual representation would be making a new character, making them popular, and making it just a part of who they are. Ask yourself this question. If you didn't say what Captain Marvel's sexuality was, what would it change? Wouldn't change anything. Doesn't matter. It's a component of who a person is. It is not their definition. What do we have on Captain Marvel of who she is? She's angry a lot. She has thin skin, metaphorically. Look at how she reacted to people. We know she's not a hero because in the deleted scene from the movie, this biker comes up on her and catcalls her, and her response is to steal his motorcycle, break the bones in his hand, and steal his clothing. That's what the Terminator does. Not a hero. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So here's another move that's being made at the same time. Marvel Comics recently announced a brand new Young Squadron one-shot as part of their Heroes Reborn event that gives Kamala Khan a new superhero name as well as a new design. So this is an alternate reality kind of comic book. Along with redesigning Kamala Khan, the series will also feature Sam Alexander and Miles Morales. They also get new suits and superhero identities inspired by Squadron Supreme. All well and good. It's a one-off kind of thing. Who cares? The names. I'm very curious to see what they do with Sam Alexander. Because they're calling him Kid Spectrum. And that's either lazy or they've got an idea. And I really hope it's just lazy. Because he's supposed to replace Dr. Spectrum. It's a stupid name. Miles Morales becomes the Falcon for some reason. But here's my favorite. Kamala Khan, girl power. Not you've heard of Power Girl. Now we have girl power. It's so hilariously up front. It's just like, oh, okay, that's what you're doing. That's what you're going for. You have no subtlety whatsoever. You're just gonna name her girl power. I mean, come on. That said, I actually kind of like the design. I think this art's probably just, rough sketch, figure out character look kind of art, so I'm not worried about that. But I do kind of like the design. I like it actually a lot more than her traditional appearance, which is this. So I think it's kind of cool. A little bit of a Wonder Woman knockoff in some ways, but a lot better than this. Um, but I say make a new character. So this is a very good example. We're not going to look at these characters in the way they are now. Kamala Khan, Muslim superhero. They act like she was the first one. She's not, but Muslim superhero. Okay. Not Miles Morales. Although Miles Morales was created as a new character, he's still Spider-Man. He's an alternate world Spider-Man. Here we go. The Falcon. They made that as a new character back in the day. They said, hey, let's make a black superhero. And he's not the only one. Blade comes to mind. So they've had success doing this in the past. They just don't know how to do it anymore. And they don't want to do it anymore. And that's what I'm getting at. Don't get angry if this turns out to be true. Who cares? Don't get angry because they want people to get angry. They want you to get angry. They want you to say, no, Captain Marvel is straight. Because they want to be able to say, look at how bigoted people are. That's why we have to keep doing this. That's their goal. It's just like we discussed in a previous video with the High Republic, where they're coming out and their writers are saying all this stupid crap to get people angry as a marketing ploy. Just like when they made Captain Marvel and Brie Larson came out and said stupid stuff that got people angry because they want to drive a certain crowd into the theater. And by making one group angry, they want to make the other group angry that those people are angry. Then they want to virtue signal to that group and say, look at us, we're fighting the good fight. We're gonna make everything okay by showing who these bigots are and by teaching the next generation not to be that way. See, that's their goal. It's never been about writing. It's never been about good character design. It's always been about, let's make people angry. Because then we can say, wow, you're so bigoted. You don't like women. You don't like homosexuals. You don't like people of a different skin color. Look at how bigoted you are. That's why we're doing these movies. We have to show you what's wrong. We have to make this work. If they get people angry that they're tokenizing again, they can use that to fuel other things. And that's their goal. It's not about writing. It's not about representing homosexuals. Because they can already do that. There's already characters out there who are gay, who are in the Marvel Universe. Or they could make a new character and make the character so good, so appealing, that they could turn around and say, see, nobody cares. if you're gay. Nobody's going to be angry. It's just part of reality, and they're accepting of that. But that would be a positive message. And they don't want a positive message. They want a negative message. Because they've chosen their fan base. They want to signal to the people they believe are their fan base. No, the people they want to be their fan base. They want to signal to them how awesome they are while using wedges like this to try and shove people out of the fandom that they don't want. And by that I mean traditional comic book fans. And by the way, they don't want you if you happen to be homosexual but disagree with this plan. You're a part of the problem too. That's how they operate. That's the way they are. So don't worry about it. I mean, first of all, who cares? It's Captain Marvel. Second of all, oh well. You know, don't get angry if you don't like it. Don't go on Twitter and engage if you don't like it. Point it out. Point out what their plan is and what they're doing. And then go quiet. Because that's what they don't want, is your silence. All you have to do to protest what you don't like is point it out. Say, this is what I see is happening. Tell other people. And then don't spend your money. That's all you have to do. Don't spend any money. Because that's the opposite of what they want. They want you to be mad. They want you to be screaming like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they're tokenizing another character." Yes, they are. They are tokenizing another character, and it sucks. Because you know what? I want there to be characters that are well written, that are liked by a wide majority of people, who just so happen to have other traits. Because that's how people are. You're not, if you're gay, you're not the gay person. You're a person who is gay. But these characters are the gay character, not the character who is gay. Jack Harkness in Doctor Who was the character who was gay, not the gay character, and that's why people like him. Because he was a very likable character first and foremost, and then that happened to be a part of who he was, and nobody cared. Because yes, there are absolutely people out there who do not like people who are homosexual. But a huge percentage of the population doesn't care. And by doing this in a way that pisses people off, it's just like race swapping a character, okay? It's like when they cast a character who is traditionally white as black. That's just saying, here, we can't make it. It's hard to make black characters. Just take this. Be happy. Okay, we represented you. Now go spend money on our shit. Disney does not care. Disney has no morals and no ethics. This is the company that thanked concentration camp runners in China. They don't have ethics or morals. They just want your money or your anger. And if you're one of these demographics that they're signaling to, they want your money and your silence. We need to be happy with the scraps that they give you, to spend money, to praise them, and to otherwise go away and be quiet. That's what they want. Because if they wanted anything else, if they respected any of these demographics, they would make new awesome characters. Like I said, it's doable. I've pointed out examples, but the biggest one right now is Yara Flor Wonder Woman, because she's not the Brazilian character who is a woman. She is the superhero who happens to be from Brazil and also happens to be a woman. That's the difference. So, I'm not going to talk about this subject anymore when it comes up again. And that's what I suggest you do as well. Point it out. Show people that they're tokenizing. Show people that they don't care. And then let it go. Don't spend money or time on it. Because that's the opposite of what they want. Remember who these people are beholden to. When you're tempted to praise them for representation, remember who they're beholden to. These are the people who design movies to try and be popular in China first and everywhere else second. These are the people who will talk up a big game about how brave they are by making a main character who may or may not be a Force user who's black, and then they shrink him down as soon as the movie's released in China, and then they shrink his role because nobody in China responded to it very well. That's what happened to Finn. Finn was pushed as potentially being Force sensitive, was given the lightsaber on the cover, was given the scene with the lightsaber in the first movie, was going to be a romantic interest for Rey in the second movie, because it was all set up in the first movie, and then that didn't go over well in China, and all of it disappeared. And what did they turn him into? The janitor. They're beholden to China. They praised China when they released Mulan. They praised the people who run the concentration camps that are killing Muslims. Specifically. They filmed in that area. They had nothing bad to say about it. Because then they wouldn't be allowed in China. So next time you think Disney's virtuous, remember that. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you next time.